Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Imran Riaz Khan to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Imran Riaz Khan's words. There has been a lot of buzz around the interviews of Imran Khan's sons. Both sons, Salman and Qasim, have given interviews, and this interview is gaining international attention. Its clips are going viral on social media. The buzz is on about Imran Khan's sons and his ex-wife, Jemima Khan. Now, the buzz on social media about Jemima and Imran Khan's sons has gained momentum, but the question is whether this will practically affect anything, or if the efforts being made by Imran Khan's sons will yield any practical benefits. Let's see if they do or not, because they are Imran Khan's sons, and they should make the effort, especially at a time when they see that there is a regime in Pakistan that doesn't want to leave their father in peace. The military establishment in Pakistan sees its own survival tied to Imran Khan's downfall. They believe that if Imran Khan remains, they will lose their power, and if they want to survive, they need to get rid of him. So, the responsibility on Imran Khan's sons increases significantly. When they saw that all the attempts to remove their father in Pakistan were failing, they began to take practical steps as well. They gave an interview, which was conducted by Morgan, and I have noted down the key points from the interview. These were fairly common statements, which I'll share with you. Imran Khan also shared some clips from this interview, including his own interview with Morgan, where Morgan praised Imran Khan and shared clips from his past. The interview also touched on threats to Imran Khan's life and the statements from his sons. Let me summarize what they said. They said they want politicians and journalists in the UK and the US to raise their voices against the violations of human rights and violence occurring in Pakistan. This is not only an issue of human rights, but also democracy. The people of Pakistan voted for the most popular leader, and the 250 million people of Pakistan have the right to be heard. These are some of the points they made in response to questions. Imran Khan's son, Qasim Khan, who has a beard, spoke more during the interview, while Salman Khan, who is clean-shaven, spoke less, but overall Qasim spoke more. Regarding Trump, when asked whether he could play a role, they said that Trump could make a difference. They recalled a conversation they had with Richard Grenell, who raised his voice in favor of their father and tweeted about it. They believe that if Trump speaks out, it could make a difference. They said that Donald Trump can talk to the Pakistani establishment and convey a message to stop the injustice against Imran Khan. They would love to talk to him if he wants to send any message to the Pakistani establishment regarding Imran Khan's situation. Next, they were asked whether they feared that their father could be assassinated. They said, well, they didn't want to think about it, but sometimes they feared they might never see their father again. They mentioned just how long it had been since they last saw him. They said that this was the longest period they've been without seeing or talking to their father, especially when the situation is, becoming more and more desperate. Then, Morgan aired a clip of an earlier interview with Imran Khan, where he talked about his wife and children. Imran Khan mentioned how worried his children were, especially when he was shot. He recalled how his son warned him several times to leave politics. But Imran Khan explained that his responsibility towards society was greater than his own comfort. Imran Khan's sons echoed the same sentiment, stating that he could have led an easy life but chose a difficult path for the sake of the people of his country. They were then asked in the interview whether they feared that their father would be assassinated. Imran Khan replied that he had no fear of death, as he had been fighting against corrupt forces from the very beginning. When asked about returning to Pakistan, his sons said they definitely wanted to go back to Pakistan and do whatever they could for their father. However, the government had issued threats of arrest, and they had also applied for visas through the Pakistani embassy, but had not received a response yet. Regarding the arrests and raids, they said that no matter how many people are arrested, it won't make any difference, as long as the people of Pakistan have made up their minds. The real power lies with the people. They mentioned how the people had risen on April 10, 2022, after Imran Khan's government was toppled, and how the establishment had realized its mistake too late. The establishment is now facing the consequences of that action. The people of Pakistan had made their decision, and if they rise again, the situation will change. Then they discussed the situation in Pakistan and how the establishment was interfering with the democratic process. There had been constant attempts to undermine the opposition, and there were, ongoing discussions about the corruption charges against their father. They defended Imran Khan, saying that those who truly knew him were aware he was not corrupt. They pointed out quite clearly that if he were corrupt, he would have joined the established parties long ago, but instead, he chose to form his own party 30 years ago. Regarding General Asim Munir, they had a message for him, urging him to respect democracy, the will of the people, the rule of law, and to ensure fair trials. They demanded that their father be treated fairly and that injustices against him be stopped. Imran Khan's sons were clear in their stance. They wanted their father's case to be handled with justice. They also mentioned the ongoing raids on Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf offices and the violation of people's privacy. Despite all these efforts, they remained committed to their cause. They emphasized that Pakistan's future lies with its people, and if the establishment continues to ignore the will of the people, it will not succeed in controlling the country. Finally, they mentioned the situation in Punjab, where homes were being raided and people were being arrested. The government was taking action to suppress opposition, but they remained confident that the people would rise up once again, just as they had in the past. The struggle for democracy and justice will continue, and no matter how much the establishment tries to suppress it, the people will have the final say. Because the cost that you bear in the industry has increased significantly. So this situation is as it stands at the moment. Now, let's move towards the political situation. The two-day conference under the banner of Tehreek-e-Tahaffuz-e-Ain Pakistan, or the Movement for Protection of Pakistan's Constitution, had its final day today. Initially, there wasn't any PTI or Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf leader in sight. The reason for this was very clear and understandable. Obviously, anyone who comes here will have warrants issued for their arrest, so the police are immediately dispatched to arrest them. Hence, today, most of their leaders were busy arranging bail bonds. They were getting temporary bails. Peshawar High Court was frequently visited by people. Today, Salman Akram Raja also obtained protective bail from there, ensuring that they could not be arrested anywhere. This is because all of them have non-bailable arrest warrants issued against them, and others have already been sentenced, so they are essentially convicts. If they appear anywhere, they too will be arrested. Therefore, the leadership is now hardly visible on the ground, and that's why no one from the movement was seen at today's initial session of Tehreek-e-Tahaffuz-e-Ain Pakistan. However, Asma Shirazi was present today, and Habib Akram was there as well. The rest of the leaders, especially from smaller parties, were also present. Along with them, Imran Mazari also attended, and Nadia Balokh, the sister of Marang Balokh, was also present at the conference. Mohsin Dawar participated as well. A variety of voices were invited to the conference, and everyone spoke their mind. Media representatives were addressing issues related to the media, while political party representatives focused on their perspectives. Nadia Balokh, Marang Balokh's sister, spoke on behalf of her brother, saying that the conference was named Tehreek-e-Tahaffuz-e-Ain Pakistan, or Movement for the Protection of Pakistan's Constitution. But where is the Constitution in Pakistan? Perhaps you have the Constitution in a cupboard somewhere in Islamabad, but for us, we don't see it anywhere. Where is the enforcement of the Constitution? In Balochistan, this was a deeply poignant point from her. Today, Imran Mazari also delivered a powerful speech, talking about how judges who could stand up to the military were sidelined and removed. The influence of Zardari has grown continuously to the point that the current form of the Constitution has been completely distorted. So the speeches from various leaders continued throughout the day. During this time, Barrister Gohar also arrived. A journalist asked him about the plan for August 5th. Barrister Gohar gave a rather odd response, saying that it was just a one-day activity planned for August 5th. He went on to explain that rallies would be held in different regions on that day, and it would be a one-day event that would end after that. The journalist pointed out that Imran Khan had said this would be an ongoing movement like a test match, but you are calling it a one-day event. Barrister Gohar responded by saying that Imran Khan had said that there is no such thing as a one-day or test match in politics. This would be a one-day event. The journalist retorted, stating that Imran Khan himself used the terms one-day match and test match. At that point, Barrister Gohar began giving evasive answers. However, what became clear from his responses was that their plan was limited to just a one-day activity involving rallies, and they would claim that they had done their protest on August 5th. But there didn't seem to be any long-term plan or continuous movement from PTI. Initially, Imran Khan's statement suggested a continuous plan, where rallies would be held at different locations every day, followed by protests, sit-ins or conferences. There was the possibility of regular activities happening, but it now appears that due to certain sentences, PTI's leadership is in more difficulty, and they might barely manage to organise a one-day event. Many of their leaders are either convicted or have arrest warrants out for them, so it seems that the government has managed to neutralise this plan even before it could start. There will indeed be rallies, especially in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, but the level of activism and the impact of it won't be as significant as Imran Khan had hoped. The expectation was that a large-scale movement would take place, but it now seems like there is no such plan. Barrister Gohar's statement today confirmed that there is no long-term plan for any activities. If there were to be more activities, they would be announced later. As for how they plan to carry out those activities, we will just have to wait and see. Had Imran Khan not given this date for August 5th, I could confidently say that they wouldn't have planned any protest for that day either. The record of PTI's leadership shows that they continuously pushed back protest dates. During Ramadan, they said protests would happen after Ramadan, but nothing happened. Then they said after Eid, but nothing happened. Later, they said after the bigger Eid, but again nothing happened. They even mentioned after Ashura, but there was no announcement and no protest. Finally, Imran Khan himself had to set another date, and now they are left with no choice but to hold some kind of activity on August 5th. If it were up to them, they would have kept postponing the protest and not planned anything. The last protest by PTI was on February 8th, and now almost 5 to 6 months have passed. They can't claim to be organising a major movement with such a long gap between protests. A movement means that people are continuously on the streets, which puts pressure on the government to resolve the issue. Had they maintained constant pressure from the beginning, perhaps there could have been negotiations or even some success for PTI in making their point. But since they have laid dormant, the pressure is now entirely on them, and they have to respond to the increasing pressure from the authorities. In simple terms, it's like this: if you show weakness, those who are stronger will crush you. That is exactly what the authorities are doing. On August 5th, PTI will not be able to create the same level of momentum or activism, and after that one day of protest, they will likely retreat and hide, especially since many of their leaders have been convicted or have arrest warrants. As for Imran Khan, he himself has said that he is not afraid of these arrests. He's already sitting in jail and he's enduring a harsh prison sentence. His wife is also enduring a tough jail sentence, and they've been going through it for 2 years. So even if others are arrested and sent to jail, he doesn't see it as a major issue. But of course, the movement will only continue if people are out on the streets, protesting. If everyone is sitting in jail, then the movement will not progress. The situation has become particularly difficult for the ordinary workers. For example, in Sargodha, a court sentenced a poor worker, Mohammed Ismail, to almost a life sentence, 25 years, for participating in a protest. In another case, this same worker was acquitted under similar charges and evidence, but in this particular case he was sentenced to 25 years. It's heartbreaking because it effectively means the entire life of this man has been ruined. These harsh sentences for protests are not normal. Even if someone damages something during a protest, it shouldn't result in life sentences. This shows the extent of revenge being taken and the fear being instilled in people's hearts. It's a clear message: if you protest, your life will be ruined. The aim of these punishments is to instill terror among the people. Finally, let's talk about Ali Amin Gandapur, who released another video last night. His statement was in response to the reports in Indian media and Pakistani media about FATF's grey list being demanded due to his statements. He issued a statement clarifying his position, and there was no need to provide further explanation as his statement was already clear. However, in response to India's demand, he went on the offensive and said that he would now take action against India, and he would tell them about the terrorism happening in Pakistan. He claimed that he would even free Kashmir from India. So after freeing his leader, he now plans to free Kashmir. One can only hope that he doesn't end up trying to conquer the whole world. That wraps up our translation of Imran Riaz Khan's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.